What a race. Can you tell us a little bit about what that final bit of the run was like, taking on Pablo de Pena like that?
First off, that one was for Papu, and we love you, my man. That was a fantastic race. Hold on one sec, I'm sorry.
You're allowed to take as much time as you'd like, Lionel.
I've never experienced a run like that before. Pablo was throwing surges. He threw like 8 surges where I was truly sprinting, and he had putting gaps into me, and I just kept working and working and working. And then at the end there, with maybe 1 mile to go, 1.5 miles to go, he put in the surge, and then I was like, I got one shot, and it was stick with the surge, and then just keep the pace up. And I kept the pace up, and I just got a little gap, and I said, you got to go. And I literally felt my right hamstring. Every step I was like, oh my God, it's going to cramp, it's going to cramp. And I just kept spraying, don't cramp, don't cramp. That's got to be, that might be the best race I ever done. The best battle I've ever had with another opponent.
There you go, let's hear it for your men's champion, Canada's Lionel Sanders.
seconds.
Congrats, Lionel. Hell of a race.
Thank you, man.
Holy hell.
Wow. I've never battled like that before, man.
That was crazy.
Wow.
Holy.
Well done, Lionel.
Cheers, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Good job, Ryan. So proud of you. Did you hear me yell to do it for Papu?
Yeah, that's what I did it for. Like, that was where I got the strength in the end.
My boy.
Wow. That was
amazing.
That was a really, really hard race.
Now that's how you end the season.
I will not be able to move my hamstrings tomorrow. Like my hamstrings are literally, it was like going zzz, zzz, zzz. Like it was gonna, if that thing cramped, I was going down for sure.
Wow. You got a month off, there you go.
I might need it too. Oh my God, that was amazing. That was awesome.
That was
wow.
Beyond awesome. Oh my.
I had to call upon my running, like from my running days, because he was doing textbook surge and recover, and he was playing me, because then he would recover on my hip, and I was like, hang on a second. Then I started to understand what was happening, so then I started to let him surge, and then I would just get back onto his hip, and I wouldn't go behind, or I wouldn't go in front, and then I went for that final surge. Then I just kept trying to go and not slow back down with him. And I got he's holding on, but he's breathing.
I was saying.
Yeah, and then it started to, I could feel it. I could feel it opening. I just had to keep working. I thought actually I was still worried at the end that he was going to sprint again. Like he was letting the gap open and then was going to sprint again. I was like, if he sprints on me again, I'm done. That's it. I don't have another one.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
Dude, I have every single one on video.
Every surge?
Yeah.
I remember, did you see, I was like looking at it like, what in the world is happening right now? Like I've never experienced this in my life.
I kept FaceTiming Aaron to show Aaron I was trying to hold my phone.
He called me, he's like, Pablo just opened up a gap. Oh wait, Lionel, no, just kidding, no.
That was a really cool race.
Spectacular.
That has got to be like the most painful. I don't know. I never done super short course stuff, but like, it's like long enough, short enough that you can go like all out, but really long. It's like the limits of going as hard as you can. Because after that, I was getting ready to like.
How was your bike? Was awesome.
I got to use washroom right now, but I didn't have any time to think about it out there. No.
I wonder what your run was, like what pace you were running.
I don't know. Because we would slow down, but then it would just go. It was full tilt, man. It was 3 minutes. Like it had to be 3 minute Ks.
On that inner part, you guys like started sprinting.
Yeah, I was sprinting. Yeah. Like I was at one point, I was sprinting.
It looked like you were doing 200 meters.
Yeah.
That's
amazing.
I mean, I swam pretty well. I got out like pretty well, and I mean, I swam pretty well for me. I mean, like I said, my big weakness is the speed, and these guys there's a lot of guys with a lot of great speed here, so, you know what I mean, you're going to see your weakness, and this is definitely this is like an Olympic distance swim, so you see my weakness. So I'm going to go back to the pool and keep working hard on my takeout and just trying to get faster.
So you came out of the water, it looks like that you were out biking everyone for the first couple of laps. Kind of walk me through that. What was your strategy?
My strategy was pretend there's no run and bike as hard as you possibly can and see what happens. And I went, I think I went through 40K in like 49 flat. So I got a new 40K PB and a new 60K PB and a new, won't be a 1 hour power, but it'll definitely be a time trial, in the time trial 1 hour power record.
So you and Pablo pretty much caught each other, came off the bike together. Walk me through how that battle kind of unfolded.
I thought for sure, I mean, he was spiking hard. It took me a long time to catch him. And so he was spiking hard, and I was like, either this guy is gonna like be crippled or like I'm gonna get dropped because I'm gonna be crippled. And no, he wasn't crippled. And wow. It started off hot. I didn't transition very well. I skipped the socks. I knew this was going to be a battle. I always wear the socks. I didn't have time. But my transitions, once again, going up against guys who've got that short course experience. He got probably I don't know, 10 meters on me anyway, out of transition, and that was crucial 10 meters. And so anyways, I finally bridged the gap on him after about a mile. And then it was just, I thought maybe he was faltering because his breathing was heavy. That was just, he was just playing me. Like, he truly was just playing me, because then he's like breathing hard, starting to let a gap open, and then he all out sprint by me. And I was like, what in the world? And then I was like, okay, I was thinking one sprint, and then he's obviously going to start walking after this. And it was just one final attempt to try and get rid of me. Nope, this was the tactic. And so I caught back up, sprint again. And I was just, I truly hung on for dear life for probably 4 miles. But then my running mind started. I started off as a runner. I've done a lot of running races. And I started to realize, hang on a second, this guy's playing me. He would surge, and then he would drop back on my hip and recover, and then surge. And I was like, hang on a second, I'm going to drop on his hip. I'm going to catch him, and I'm going to drop on his hip. And then he put out another surge, and I said, hang on a second. The next surge, when he surges, when I catch him, I'm going to stay on his pace and then let that gap open, because he was always breathing heavy after the surge. And so that's what I did. And then I felt him getting on the ropes, and then it's now or never. And I kept the pace on. I felt I could hear it. The steps are going away. And then I was like, crap, we're still a mile from home. And I just prayed, like my right hamstring was literally like it was gonna lock. Fortunately, it didn't lock. So, wow. Paula got her. Wow, holy cow. Wow, what a battle. Some great battles today.
We actually heard that you went 4:46 for a lap. That was
faster than my test lap that I tried to go all out. I actually, to be honest with you, now that he's here, I actually said I'm going to try and race like you. I'm going all out. I'm going to pretend like there's no run that even exists. I'm going to ride as hard as I can.
How did it work?
Well, my hamstrings almost cramped up. I was like truly praying that my right hamstring wouldn't cramp up, because I was going down.
Jump over that little.
Oh, I know. And my toes go. Oh my God.
My hamstrings cramped up when we had to.
That's the hardest I ever rode a bike.
Good. What was the difference? You guys do mostly, longer course stuff. Obviously, you've done a bunch of stuff. You did a sprint triathlon, ITU one a couple of years ago. But what's the difference in this race in this format that's different than long course?
See, I mean, the biggest thing here is it's you basically take a course like Ironman Florida that's super non-technical, and you condense it into
one third.
Yeah,
Speed. Yeah, I mean, it's so foreign.
But the thing is like Lionel, even though he's a good trainer rider, you still had to actually ride the bike today. I mean, the winds were at an angle that were different than last year, and if you weren't paying attention, it would take you a little bit.
It was tough. I actually started thinking like maybe running a 90 was a mistake, because it was definitely blowing around a bit.
Yeah, and so did the wind die down as it?
As it kept going. Of course,
it got faster.
It died down on the run where you wanted to win.
How tough was that on the run?
Not at all.
It wasn't bad, no.
So you can't go and hide somewhere if you're feeling bad.
Maybe in the back corner where there's no one out there, but other than that, no.
Interestingly, before the race, we looked up the men's winning time from last year, and it was 2:27. You guys have been hanging out now for at least 5 minutes. We have 2:29 on the clock. So it was a much faster year, and I think the quality field really pushed you guys to go faster. How did it feel having such a good quality field?
I mean, it was a race. It was like that was a true race from all. Yeah, I mean, there was nowhere. Like, I wanted to fill my front bottle up, and I was like, "There's no way. I don't have time. There's no way I can fill the bottle up." So that was it. I took one sip of water, maybe a quarter sip on the run. There was no way to eat or drink. There was no time. Because Pablo was going to drop me if I did anything other than just try and hold on for dear life.
Here, did you expect it to be an exciting race as it turned out to be?
I'm going to be completely honest with you. I hadn't heard of Pablo until I started, like after Indian Wells, I started to examine the start list for this race. And I said, how in the world did I miss Pablo? And I knew
he's an amazing.
Well, I knew once when I looked him up and I looked at all his results, like, this is a guy we're racing. And so, I mean, he's coming in with a bit of a run calf injury. So that was absolutely insane running. Like, that guy's got some speed. That was insane.
Not only on the run, because if we go back to the start of the race, you came out of the water with some disadvantage.
Oh, yeah.
Then you pushing it really hard on the bike, right?
That was all I had on the bike. I mean, I pushed as hard as I could. I said, I'm going to find out what happens. I'm going to push as hard as I can as if there's no run, and then find out what happens on the run. And what happens is, well, unfortunately, we had a battle, but damn, my like hamstrings were starting to cramp. I've never had a hamstring cramp, and I was just praying that my right hamstring wasn't tightened up because I was going down if it did.
What does it mentally do with you if you run across next to each other so long, so hard, so high pace?
I've never been in a race where I was the one getting put under pressure. Like when I run side by side in the good battles that I've had, well, the one against Patrick in Kona, he just blew by me. There was no battle there. But the other ones I've run toe to toe, I'm usually the one putting the guy under pressure. So this is the first time where I was like on the ropes the whole race. And I just had to call upon, like from my running days, and I slowly started to see he would surge and then he would slow down after the surge. And I knew, okay, if I can just weather one surge and then have enough to keep going at his surge, then I'll get a gap on him. And then if I just drop down to my sustained pace, then I should be able to pull away.
What was really the moment that you knew, okay, I'm going to win here?
Never.
No?
No, it wasn't until like right here when I could actually get like a 100, 200 meter look behind me that I was like, okay, I think I finally, like 300 meters from the finish. That was it.
And then the finish here at the Daytona International Speedway, under the lights, in the dark, very special, right?
That was one of the best races I ever done. So this one's always going to be a special memory in my career.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Cheers. Hold on. Here, cheers. Keep it. Thank you. Congratulations.